An NFL quarterback put in a very awkward position. It does make for good talk radio. We're talking about Trey Lance of the 49ers. I feel like I just talked about Trey Lance of the 49ers because I did. He was put on blast by former Rams coach Mike Martz, and Trey Lance is yet again back in center square this hour. Pretty good for a guy who's not that good on the field. I saw this or not, but possibly not. 49er quarterback Trey Lance allegedly spotted tossing around fistfuls of money at a party with a very attractive young lady who appears to be some kind of stripper, adult performer, if you will. This was not at a strip club. The leaked video surfacing, bouncing around social media. And one of the cool things about getting your own radio show is you don't actually have to search for these kind of things. For some reason, people love to pass this along, and I had several members of the MALLER militia that said, hey, you got to talk about this tonight. Do you see this? Can you believe this? Or, oh, this is great. I love this guy. He's my favorite quarterback. Oh, I can't believe he's just like me. I don't have that kind of money. All that. So the video goes online after the Niners lost week 1 to Chicago, and so there's a lot of assumptions being made here. And so everyone's got a breakdown. So I thought we would get in line and join the conversation. And so let us discuss. The question on this one, 49er quarterback Trey Lance hanging with the strippers. Big deal, little deal, or no deal? So it's certainly not a big deal. It's also not no deal. So by default, this becomes a little deal. A little deal. I've got Dua Lipa, El Capitan, and Miranda rights. And we'll combine these random things together, and that will be the bedrock of this MALLER monologue. So number one. Trey Lance, last I checked, is human. He's also a young guy. And spoiler alert, I don't know if you know about this, but 22-year-old men like strippers, and they like money. News at 11. So from that standpoint, it's like, come on. That's no deal. But digging a little deeper, it's not a great look. You're the quarterback, you're the CEO of a billion-dollar, very image-conscious business like football. They like to tell the world what to do. All these professional sports leagues like to educate us on how to live our lives. And this is a 5-second clip. Not a lot to work with in 5 seconds. Now, we don't know when or where the video was taken. Some believe the video is actually old, that it didn't happen this week. Others think that it did happen in the hours after the loss to Chicago for the Niners. So we have not seen validation either way, so we don't know that answer at this time. But as a public service for our blind listeners, we went frame by frame, Zapruder film style, in this particular video. It was filmed at a house party, and it was a raging party. You see in the video here, I'm looking at the video here, you got two ladies. They're wearing outfits. I think they're dressed for Halloween, like they're in a dental office. They're wearing dental floss. And the G-string there, they've got... Giggity. One of them is on all fours. Maybe she's looking for something on the floor, but she appears to be shaking her derriere there. I think the term for that is called twerking. The other is bent over in front of Trey Lance. And that young lady there, I think she's doing some working out there of her badonkadonk. I think that's going on there. And there's Trey. Having a grand old time. He's got his hoodie on. He's got a ball cap, and there's an armful of money. Money! Right there. And, yeah, he's making it rain. Doing a rain dance. And, of course, the irony is rather obvious. Everyone had the same thought. I thought he couldn't play in the rain. Certainly couldn't play against the Bears in the rain, but he likes that kind of rain. He likes that kind of rain, right? Behind him is what appears to be a young lady there drinking an adult beverage. And the camera zooms around. There's a bunch of people having a grand old time, drinking and being merry. So my diagnosis, after watching that 5-second clip over and over again, that is a Dua Lipa situation. Boys will be boys. And if people only knew the secret underworld of professional athletes. Sex, drugs, and rock and roll. It's a whole different dimension. And you can live in that world as long as you don't go creepy like Deshaun Watson. Then you've crossed over. But that's a great world to live in. All right, now page 2. So what must Trey Lance do in future situations like this? It's a teachable moment. All events in life are teachable moments. So the first thought I have is don't be sloppy. Assuming that this actually happened since he got to the NFL with the Niners there, you got to make sure you don't have any leakage. No to the leakage. And take a page out of El Capitan's playbook. Derek Jeter had a cardinal rule for all house guests. It's a legendary story. No cameras. No cameras, no cell phones are allowed for privacy concerns out of an abundance of caution. So anytime you go out, you should have with you in your backpack a wicker basket. And if you're going to be somewhere, you have the people you're around leave their phones in the wicker basket in the front room. And especially if you're going to be at a party with strippers and wads of cash. Doesn't play well in Peoria. Doesn't play well in Peoria. Might play well in the Bay Area, but it does not play well in Peoria. All right, final point. So why is this stripper story one that, well, in the moment, as we said, it is a little deal? Why is it one of these stories that over time could have legs and become a big deal for Trey Lance? I'll tell you why. All right. Because Trey Lance is not only a quarterback, he so far has been rotten. And even though we think that, as we said, this is a little deal, Lance is on shaky footing. And he certainly didn't get off to a great start in Chicago, and everyone makes the same excuse. But the weather. Guess what? It's going to be bad weather in San Francisco or Santa Clara this weekend. The chance of rain very high for that game. But the problem is this, and I think you know where I'm going with this, but maybe not. Videos like the little 5-second clip, well, not even a video, it's just a 5-second clip, but that gives substance as to why Jimmy Garoppolo was kept around. Because not only do you have a wobble with Trey Lance throwing the football, but it appears you have some bad decisions, which make for great stories and great videos, but not always helpful in your career. And as long as Trey Lance turns out to be at least average or above, this story will be forgotten, or it will become part of his lore. That Trey Lance is such a legend. This guy is partying with strippers on a Monday or a Tuesday, goes out, wins a game on a Sunday. This guy's a party animal off the field. He's a monster on it. But if things continue down the road we're traveling down and he continues to be a second-rate reject as a quarterback, then watch out. Because I present to you the sports version of your Miranda rights. Anything you say or do can and will be used against you in the court of public opinion. And that means that this clip, this 5-second clip, can become evidence in a trial against Trey Lance, and it will be used to explain why you smell like fertilizer and your career has maggots in the NFL.